Hi everybody, what's up? Once again, Lorenzo and Alberto with you, and this time we're here with you to do the review of the brand new Apple iPhone 6. So here it is, we bought it in gold color as you can see right now. Now we're going to switch on the phone. The button is placed on the right as Lorenzo is showing you. So here it is, let's talk about the dimension first of all. 13.8 centimeters, 6.7 centimeters, 6.9 millimeters. The camera actually comes a little bit out, so you run the risk of scratching it in the case you use this iPhone 6 without a cover. So we really advise you that. The weight is 129 grams. Now we're going to talk about the specs. 4.7 EPS screen, 326 ppi. The CPU is the chip A8 dual-core 1.4 GHz. The GPU is the Power VR GX 6450 quad-core. The RAM is actually the 16 GB and the ROM is 1664 or 128 GB, not expandable. The camera has actually 8 megapixel plus 1.2 megapixel front, and the battery has got 1810 mAh. So you're going to use the code when you unlock this phone for the first time, as Lorenzo is showing you, and then you can use the Touch ID that works in a pretty good way. We can show you about that. We really like this iPhone 6 because for the first time they decided to put a big display on it. So it's the first device actually by Apple with a big display, and in our opinion it's a very good plus for this phone. Nowadays you need to work with the phone, surf on the internet, see videos, see films, so a big display in our opinion is definitely a good thing to have, and Apple decided to alienate themselves to the market and decide to put a bigger display on their device. So a good choice in our opinion. We can show you that the Wi-Fi of this phone is at a good level. Also the GPS is great. We used Google Maps when we had the trip and no problem at all, good reception, and we were carried without any kind of problem. And also you're going to have a good reception. The quality of the audio is great when you talk to a people. He's going to listen you in a perfect way, and you too, so no problem at all. On the phone there is the iOS 8.0.2, the Solve little box present on the iOS S8, so good innovation also in this point. There are a little innovation talking about the customizing part, because actually you can change the keyboard for the first time. The fluidity is actually great, as you can see. Like in every device by Apple, the fluidity is a big plus. If you, as Lorenzo is showing you, so big simplicity on the menu. The icons are there. If you wipe up, as Lorenzo has done, you can go to the rabbit toggle, and if you wipe down, you're going to have the notification center. So a pretty useful stuff, very simple to use when you get habit to this, and it's a very big plus by Apple as always. We have to say that the iOS is not very customizable, as you may know, of course, because for example, compared to the Android system, you don't have the secondary app drawer. You actually have the NFC, but you cannot use it to exchange data as with other smartphones. You can use it just for payments, so not a big customization part in this Apple, but if you like this brand, you're used to it. Now we're going to focus on the camera. It's got autofocus and flash LED, as you can see right now, and we can say that it's a very fast focusing camera. The autofocus is amazingly fast. You can take photos without any kind of problem. And also in the gallery, as you can see, the phone is very fluid, it's very reactive, it follows your finger in a fantastic way. Now we're going to focus on the functions. You've got, for example, the HDR, the video. You can record videos in Full HD at 60 FPS and HD till 240 FPS. So that's a great stuff in our opinion. If you want to slow down videos, the effect is going to be simply amazing. You've got also the panorama mode that works pretty well. Let's talk about the front camera. In the front camera, you can record video just in HD, so not full HD as in the back camera, 1.2 megapixel as we said before. Now we're going to leave you to some photos taken with this iPhone 6. Yeah, so the photo, in our opinion, looks pretty good. This Apple iPhone 6 is able to realize good photos because the megapixels are not the most important thing, as you may know, talking about photos. Because maybe you can see the difference when you bring them on the PC. You feel that in this iPhone 6 maybe some megapixels are missing, because when you zoom, seeing the photos on your PC, when you zoom a lot, maybe it loses definition quite fast, sooner, for example, than the S5 that's got 16 megapixels. But in our opinion, it's a good camera overall. Maybe we can say not in the first 5 or 10 cameras that are available on the market right now, but still a good camera. You're going to be satisfied by that. And we can say that the videos are great. The videos are very fluid with HD, full HD, 240 FPS. So the photo are at the medium high level. The video are definitely at a high level. So if you have to evaluate this camera overall, it deserves actually a good mark, of course. Now we're going to reproduce a video test in order to see how the display reacts, like we usually do, to let you have a clear idea. Here it is, the video test. Yeah. So we can focus on the positive aspect because the video runs very fluid. So that's, of course, a big plus. Also, the angle of view, as Lorenzo is showing you, is great. Actually, you can see this video from almost every position. The colors, in our opinion, are awesome because they are very full, but not too vivid. Doesn't stress your eyes too much, so a very good compromise. The definition maybe is not very high because 326 ppi, as we said before, but this has a plus. It doesn't stress the battery and it still remains very good. So in our opinion, a good choice by Apple. One big plus talking about videos is that you can see perfectly the screen. Also, if there is a lot of light, also if you're in full sun, you're not going to have any kind of problem. You're going to see with big definition. That's a very good aspect. The colors are great. Now we're going to put the lighting at the medium level. The colors are great, as we said before, and we're going to focus on white and black. White is very good in our opinion. Doesn't tend neither to gray, blue, yellow. And the black is awesome, very full, very good result compared also to the Super AMOLED screen. It's a very good result by this iPhone 6 talking about the black color. Now we're going to focus on the audio. We're going to reproduce a sample song. Pompeii as always, so you're going to listen how this iPhone 6 yeah, you can actually download full albums, as you can see. Now we're going to reproduce the song. Yeah, so as you've already heard, the volume is very good. It's a very big plus in our opinion for this phone, a very high volume, but it does maintain still the quality of the audio. So a very big audio, but maintaining a very good quality. And also the position of the speakers is very good because it's actually down on the lower side. So also if the phone is placed on a table, you can listen in a perfect way. So the audio deserves a very good mark. Because talking about the volume, the quality and the position of the speakers, every aspect is great in this phone. Play really testing games. In order to see how this iPhone 6 reacts, we're going to play with Real Racing 3 as always. A very testing game, a lot of scene in it, considering scenes. The phone has to elaborate every information about other cars, the circuit, the weather, a lot of lighting effect, a lot of things involved at the same time. So we're going to see how this iPhone 6 behaves. The main concern is that the CPU is not so powerful as we said before. Is this game? We don't know if this game is going to run in a fluid way on this iPhone, but the result was really positive, because actually the iOS is very good at optimizing the apps. iOS is a master of optimization the apps for this iPhone 6. As always, Apple is very good to do that. So the CPU may not be as powerful as other top phones, but the optimization is great, and you're going to also the rear view is available, as you know. As you're seeing, a lot of lighting effects, fantastic, and this phone is really fluid when you play games. So the CPU is not so powerful, but the app is optimized in a fantastic way, and the final performance, the final result is actually awesome. So that was all for the gaming part. Now we're going to focus on the browser, and as always we're going to use the desktop mode. We're connected with the Wi-Fi actually. Here it is, the scrolling. There is this, we can say, scrolling problem as in every Apple device, because of course it's better in the fluidity, but to reach the end of the page you need to scroll 3 or 4 times, and that's a negative aspect in our opinion. You cannot reach the end of a page with just one scrolling down. You just need to scroll 3-4 times down in order to reach the end of the page, as Lavenza is showing you. That can be a little bit annoying, a little bit frustrating in our opinion. But apart from that, of course, this tries as a plus. It maintains this phone more fluid when you surf on the internet. So, in our opinion, not a very good choice by Apple, but not a great deal, not a great stuff. Not a great problem, of course. The pinch to zoom is very reactive. Also, the scrolling down, as you can see, the browser is very reactive. Follow your finger almost in an instant. Maybe a little bit of problems, as you can see, because it doesn't. Now it doesn't react in a very good way in the circular movements. Tend to realize that you're moving your finger just in an horizontal position and not in a circular way. But apart from that, the browser is very good, reactive, no problem in this aspect. Now, as always, we're going to give marks on almost every aspect of this phone in order to have you to let you have a clear idea. So in our opinion, design and build quality deserve an 89 out of 100. Not 90 just because the bezels are not so thin, and maybe this phone is too tall, but to be just a 4.7 screen. But 89 because design is great and materials too. Performance 85 because the CPU is not so powerful, but is perfectly optimized, as we've seen in gaming, for example. Display deserves an 81 in our opinion. Doesn't reach the level of, for example, Samsung Galaxy S5, Xiaomi Mi 4, LG G3. But there are good stuff like the double tap, and that enable you to use this phone with one hand because the apps fall down. So good stuff in our opinion for the display. Not a very big display, not a very powerful and awesome display, but 81 is a good mark in our opinion. The camera deserves an 82, the speaker 80. The battery is 73, maybe the weak point of this phone, because you can reach just 6 p.m. when you use this phone in an intensive way. Better than a 5S, so improvements in this part, but still a lot of things to do, a lot of stuff to do by Apple, because if you use in an intensive way, you cannot reach dinner. You arrive at 6 p.m. If you use in a less intensive way, you arrive till dinner, but you still are going to have problem to work with this phone for one entire day. So that's a big problem. Yeah, Lavenza is showing you. That's very cool stuff, because you actually double tap the bottom and the apple falls down. So when you've got in your hand, you can actually reach them using just one hand. Otherwise, it would have been impossible. So, in our opinion, that's a really good stuff. Battery, the weak point, as we said, the specs in general is 78 out of 100. The user experience, in our opinion, deserves an 84. Very good mark, because it has a big display. This phone is very fluid and is fully optimized, and you actually have the sensation that you've got a fully optimized device in your hand. So an 84. The quality price ratio is 75 out of 100, because 729 euro in Italy, at least, it's very too high. Because you have to consider that the basic version is 16 gigabyte. So for a phone of 16 gigabyte, you have to pay 729 euro. It's a very high price in our opinion. So not a good mark in the quality price ratio, but the final mark is 82 out of 100. In our opinion, it's a good phone. The final mark says that 82 out of 100. It's a very good mark. We really like the design and material. First of all, great build quality. So if you're really fond of that, it's a thing that you have to consider. This may be one of the best built phone available on the market. So no problem at all about that. Also, the performance is very good, and the user experience. So these three aspects are very, very awesome in this iPhone 6. The weak point is maybe the camera. The display is not great as in other top phones, and the battery. The price and the battery. The battery doesn't guarantee an entire day. That, in our opinion, is needed. Is very, very important. So you may have problems in that. Of course, it's a matter of personal taste, as always. So it's a very good device in our opinion. We've seen a lot of innovation in customization, in screens and stuff like that. For the first time, there is the big display. That's a very good plus in our opinion. Materials is great, build quality is great. So you can buy it. Actually, in our opinion, it's a very good phone. Of course, if you like the Apple brand, it's going to be a very good phone for you. A very good choice. If for you if the battery is not a problem for you, maybe you don't use it in a very intensive way, you can arrive till after dinner, so no problem about that. If you don't look a lot at camera and display, then this iPhone 6 can really be the perfect choice for you. So guys, that was all for today. Thank you for watching. Please share the video and put a like, and if you could subscribe to our new channel, that would be awesome, so you can see a lot of new videos that we're going to do. So thank you for watching. If you have any comment, advice, feel free to drop those below in the comment section. We're very pleased to answer you, as always. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. By Lorenzo and Alberto of MobileExperience.